Button. Homemade puree is with tomato concasse. Took the tomatoes, skinned them, and then chopped them up, and then blended them, pureed them. But they were cooked with garlic, basil, and oregano. And you get a little bit of zesty, more flavor, which when you're making your stock and your tomato sauce, you're actually enhancing the flavor. Don't want to completely overdo it because you want a tomato sauce to have its standard base flavor. Otherwise, you've already made a spaghetti sauce or another sort of sauce. And as you can see the difference, this is on my left is the homemade puree, and on the right is the puree, which was Progresso actually. And you can see the difference of the home style is very nice. You can see the spices in it, blended nicer as compared to the red looking tomato. These are fresher tomatoes. This is a fresh one. This is obviously a canned. So we're going to give this a few minutes. Then stir in our puree, and then we'll add our spices at the very end. A tomato sauce is probably what has most ingredients of all the other sauces. And again, this will be an hour-and-a-half cooking time. Okay, we've now cooked our tomatoes over 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and add our puree. Again, this is the homemade puree. A little thicker, a little richer, and has a lot more zest, a little more flavor to it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add our spices. And we're going to add a tablespoon of crushed fresh black pepper. Two bay leaves. A tablespoon ground thyme. Perfect. A little salt. And again, we'll adjust the flavor once we let this cook in just for a few minutes. And some white pepper, just a little bit. And the key ingredient, 3 cloves. I think we're not going to have to adjust the thickness at all. This is very, very, very perfect, rich. It's got nice color to it, good body. And the aroma is very fresh, tomatoey. Okay, this we'll have to let cook now for an hour and a half. We will let it cook on a low simmer. Again, we do not want to scorch the bottom of the pan. Tomatoes will scorch very easily. So we'll turn it down. Let it simmer. And we'll let it go for an hour and a half and stir constantly as we wait. Our tomato sauce is finished now. We've been cooking it for over an hour and a half. And we've cooked out the tomatoes. The acid content has been cooked out quite well. The next step is to take, and you have to pull the bay leaves out before we grind it. And we put 2 in, so we have to pull out 2 obviously. And here they are right here. And take out your bay leaves, and you can discard them. The next step is to take your sauce and puree it, and of course then shock it in nice water and bring it back down to temperature of 40 and below. We're going to take it And instead of using a food mill, we'll be using a blender, a hand blender. And this one is 2 speeds. Do it on low, don't do it on high because you might be wearing the sauce. And you want to blend all the ingredients as best as possible and have no chunks and completely smooth. And we've completed the pureeing of the soup. And what you want to do next is pour it in your pan to cool it down. And what you're looking for is a real nice, rich tomato flavor and very smooth. You want to make sure you've purified all those vegetables. And as you can see, came out quite well. And there we have our gallon of sauce. Next, we're going to add the ice bath.
If you don't remember how to do this, check out the ice bath section.
Stir it to get the heat out of the center, and then continue to stir until there's the proper internal temperature, and then that way you can go ahead and you have a wonderful tomato sauce.